Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Kingdom Silver here, and today we are going to be covering another topic in banking. We're going to be covering unrealized losses, what they are, why you need to know about them, and why it's important to understand that from a silver gold perspective. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and watching this silver short. As always, while I am a licensed CPA, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything said in this video as financial advice. Take control of your own financial freedom, your financial future. Do your research, take the information here, look into it, consult your own personal financial advisor, and make the decision that is best for you and your family. With that, let's get into the rest of the video. All right, unrealized gains and losses. What are they? Well, this is going to sound like a cop-out, but an unrealized gain loss is simply a gain or loss that isn't realized. I know that's rocket science, right? But reality, that's all it is. So what does this mean for financial institutions? Well, a bank is required to report in detail realized gains and losses. So this would be in a case of selling a security. Let's say I bought something at $1,000, I sell it at $1,500. My realized gain on that security is $500. Conversely, let's say I buy a security at $1,000. And I sell that security at $800, I recognize a $200 loss. Unrealized gains work in this case. Let's say I bought a security at $1,000, it's now at $1,500, but I haven't sold it. My unrealized gain is $500, and it's the same case for a loss. If I buy a security at $1,000, but it's now worth $800 and I haven't sold it, I have an unrealized loss of $200. So, why is this important? Well, banks are required to report on their realized gains and losses, but when it comes to unrealized gains and losses, typically it comes on a narrative format in the financial statements. It's kind of mentioned, oh, well, we have unrealized gains and losses of X here, and it's kind of hidden, and I would say hidden on purpose, especially in the financial climate that we're in. A lot of banks, a lot of credit unions, a lot of financial institutions right now have huge unrealized losses. Why is that? Well, we think back to around the start of 2020, we had interest rates at basically zero. So as a financial institution, how do you make money? Well, you take the money that you are holding as deposits and you turn those into investments. Whether that's investing in treasuries, whether that's investing in alternative investments, whether it's a credit union, bank, there's different rules, but we're not going to get into that today. Regardless, they take your money and reinvest. They make money on it. That's how that's their business. That doesn't mean that they're crooks. That means that they're simply just taking your money and making profit off of it. Doing something that you could do, but may just not have the time to do it. So, how did these unrealized losses occur? Well, banks, credit unions, other financial services, to get more of a return on their money because of the low interest rates, often many of them locked into huge long-term securities, treasuries, various bonds, etc., that maybe had, let's say, a 5-year, a 10-year life at 3%. Well, now the Fed funds rate is over 5%. So someone could get a 3-month treasury security at, let's say, 5%, just making up numbers now. Well, that bank now that has a 3% bond or a 3% treasury security way out there, right? That's worth a lot less now because on the open market, I can get a better interest rate. So in a way to try and get more of a return, a lot of banks, a lot of credit unions, a lot of financial institutions made some poor decisions. And because of that, they have those unrealized losses. Now, some people would say, well, I think they should report those. Well, it's kind of tricky, right? Because for me personally, If I have a security or I have a stock and I haven't sold it, I haven't made any money or lost any money, should I have to report that as, a gain or loss the same way? See, that's where it gets muddy. So on this one, I actually have the financial institutions back, other than I would say we need to have a little bit better presentation of what those unrealized gain losses are, especially since that could really hinder a bank's solvency. Think about it. If a bank is having to sell securities at a huge loss to cover their positions, as there's been so many deposits that have been outflowing from the market, then it might be harder for them to stay solvent. So, why does this matter to you? Well, you need to know, does your bank have a lot of unrealized gains and losses? Are they highly, leveraged in that way to where if they had to sell those securities, they'd be taking huge losses, and there'd be a question whether or not that financial institution could continue. Why is this important for gold and silver? Well, to me, you need to have a balanced look at your investment life. Now, again, to say this, that was at the front as well. While I am a CPA, I'm not a licensed personal financial advisor. Please do your own research. Take anything that's said here, do research, look into it, make the decision that's best for you and your family. In saying that, if it was me, I would be looking at making sure that I have diversity. So if the bank that I'm close to, the bank that I have my deposits in, because we're going to need those banks, right, to do our daily life, to be able to buy things from the grocery store, as we're still working through finding more ways to have gold and silver available in daily life. It might make sense to diversify. It might make sense to put some of your money in gold and silver, some of your money in another digital platform like Kinesis or Load, or another that allows you to have digitized gold and silver. So, with everything, there's balance, and that is why it's important to know how much your bank is leveraged with that unrealized gains and losses. So, with that, that'll be it for the video. A little bit longer today, but I hope it was informative to you. I'm Kingdom Silver. Be blessed and be a blessing to others. We'll see you later.